Bună ziua! Prezentarea mea va fi în limba engleză, pentru că sunt supărat. 40 de minute întârziere. Am așteptat 5 minute cu minus 12 grade, and it is a good excuse to say that it will be in English, isn't it? So, good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for the invitation to Laszlo and his team. And like I always say, I would like a big applause for the team of Business Days, because they do an excellent job. They promote business all over Romania, and they are great. Thank you. Now, how much time do I have? 2 hours? Okay, good. Okay, good. So, the subject of today, which is leadership in the digital era, is a tricky subject. And why is it a tricky subject? Because we have to see it. First of all, we have to see the part of leadership, and then we have to see what does this mean in what we call digital era. I don't know what your perception about it is, but I named my presentation, Does Digital Era Need Digital Leaders? And we are going to see it. So let's take it from the beginning. So these are, the leadership is one of the most debated and one of the most analyzed subjects nowadays. And has raised many fundamental questions like, do we have natural born leaders? What is the difference between the leader and the manager? Many books have been written to this. What is a good leader? What is a bad leader, actually? Or we have even the cross ones. Is an effective leader a good leader? Or is an ineffective leader a bad leader? What about women in leadership? Another very much debated subject that we make nice events as well, and we make money also. The issue is that the answer is always it cannot be black or white. We cannot say if a leader is naturally born, or if there are behaviors, if there are skills that they are, let's say, trainable to become a leader, which is true. Leadership is a thing that can be trained. On the other hand, how do we express our leadership behavior very much depends on the character of the person. By this, I do not mean that an introvert person cannot be a good leader or an effective leader. On the other hand, an extrovert person that has the, let's say, charisma of communication can have, let's say, a sort of an advantage. But if we decide that we are speaking about leadership on the business environment, because we are business days, and not Alexander the Great on the white horse that goes to conquer Asia, then also leadership is a matter of how much we work with ourselves to make ourselves better. So these debates will keep going on and on. And somebody can come and say, this leader is bad for me, whereas the other one will say, no, this leader for me is effective, because he's reaching his targets, for example. And then the other one will say, yes, but this is a manager. A manager must reach his targets. No, a leader also must lead, because he's also a manager. And you see, the question goes on and on and on. Before we arrive to the digital era, let's see what they say about leaders, what they must have, what they must possess. Of course, this list is not exhaustive. You can find other traits, other behaviors, other skills. I try to summarize. Let's say, inspire and motivate. Inspirational leadership, correct? Videos, nice videos with these people that try to reach Mount Everest and all these things, and let's go to take people with us to follow us. Motivation. In the evening I have with some other very, very good people, and I urge you to come. Motivation about, let's say, in the working environment and in teams. Very interesting subject as well, to see what motivates people today in the digital era or not. Solve problems. This is what we are getting paid in business. And a leader must be a person that will give solutions. Integrity and honesty. The great Jack Welch, do you know who is Jack Welch? The former president of General Electric that was voted the manager of the century. He was using, and he's still using, a word called candor. You know what is candor? Transparency, openness. I have read somewhere the quote of a CEO that was, I don't remember the name now, that was saying, every employee and every member of your team is entitled to have questions, and he has the right to have answers. And every leader is his responsibility to answer to these questions. Though, this does not mean that the answers will be okay or the people will like them. But the truth has to be on top. Of course, results, professional expertise, because except of a good leader that has good ideas, strategies that he will follow what is behind the curtains and what is the future, he needs to know his job also well, or to master what he's doing. Innovator, everything is happening nowadays about innovation. What new things we will do. To tell you the truth, you will see in my last slide, which is next, that good is to innovate. The issue is, how do we apply innovation in nowadays? Because to have an innovative mind means that you will have ideas to create things, to move things one step forward. But this is theoretical. You have to apply your idea in order to be working. Of course, develops people. This is, for me, one of the pillars of leadership, or effective leadership, to develop your people as fine, okay, it's enough. As that we are in executive search. I mean, as I'm the country manager of an Italian company called Kilpatrick International, and we are doing executive search, top management position all over the world. One of the things that we are searching, you know, we have heard a lot about the war, about talent, and to attract the best talents. If we are speaking also about executive search, one of the things that will define the talent is leadership. And the issue is how we will find these people according to what our client wants and how we will convince them to take the next challenge. These leaders that we search, one of the things that we look at them is how good they are on developing people in their organization. A cliché is in executive search that you must be good if the moment that you take a managerial position, you have to spot first who will be your successor and train him, because this is how you will go on. Of course, in the real world, people do not do it because they are afraid that they will lose their position. Now, if I go back, what type of leader is that? Leadership is that? Who is this leader that is afraid to find the talent because he's afraid that he will lose the job? This is food for thought. We will not answer it now. And of course, master change. Another nice cliché, because changing is happening, especially nowadays with digitalization and all these things. Now let's move. Do digital era needs digital leaders? What do you believe? Yes or no? Who is for yes? Yes. Mr. Tatu is 3 points. Who is for yes? Who is for no? Okay, interesting. Then, in order not to debate a lot, I will present you my opinion, which is, yes, we need to be, let's say, having some more adaptability in this era. So, let's see, on top of these ones, what we can consider, let's say, the digital leader. First of all, like the word is saying, he must be digital literate. What does this mean? He must be aware of all the new technologies, whatever is happening and moves information fast all around the world, be able to process information, be able to find system that he will be able to conclude from this information and be able to disperse all this information to the organization. You know, big organizations, they have this fancy new position, Chief Learning Officer. Have you heard? What is this? He's the guy that in a really big and serious organization gets all the information, filters them, and the organization learns from within. Imagine big organization, how many stimulation and how many experiences they have from the outside world every day. If we manage to take all this, then we do not need to invest in a lot of things. The organization will learn from within. So digital literacy is very, very much important. The mind of an engineer, don't misunderstand me, he doesn't have to be an engineer. But the mind of an engineer is a procedural mind, likes processes. He will be able to put the things down with a logical way, so that the organization will be able to cope with the challenges. CSR believer. Do you know what is it? We all know what is CSR, corporate social responsibility. Now, what we put around this, we call it corporate social responsibility. But really, a good leader must be doing the things on a way that there will be sustainability in his company, and the outside environment and the social environment will also cope with this. And this, I do not mean only the programs of corporate social responsibility. This is a mindset, and this is a way of living. Not just writing some actions on paper and have a manager to implement them. This is not CSR believer. Yes, I will finish. Intelligent risk taker. They say that the only place that you can play without risk is Disneyland. Nowadays, we have to take risks. Intelligent risk means that the leader has to be able to calculate the risk. And he has to be able to adapt his strategy based on how this risk is going on. But without trying to get risk, he will never be able to apply his innovation thinking, for example. Last but not least, when I say great self-leader, is the person that because of all these things that we said, he takes care of himself as well. He's the one that he strives for knowledge. He's the one that he will try to learn, first of all, the others, the new things. He's the one that he will be self-disciplined. He's the one that he will like to do mistakes, but learn from his mistakes. He's the one that he will be available for his people because he's not afraid of himself and what is inside him. He's a balanced person. As you see, if we go back to the initial question, the answer is yes, we have to adapt to the digital era, but then a new era will come, and then we will have to adapt again. Isn't it what it was happening all these years until we'll arrive here, from the ancient years until now? This is it. Finishing, I will be around here today and tomorrow. If you need anything, you can come and talk to me, and we can discuss any subject. I would like to wish to all of you Merry Christmas, Happy New Year for you and your families, with health above all, and success to everything that you do. Thank you.